samkwele,
Siam siam kwele,
taku samkwele,
siam kwele, taku sam kwele, siam kwele, taku sam kwele, siam kwele.
But I always go back to the place of its art, you know, and it's you know, if I try to tell the truth for my story and the story of my family, people that I know people can identify, because we're all connected as human beings on some level. We can all look at the human condition and say, I recognize that, I see that. I was a wanderer. Oh, I was the person that overheard abuse in my house and I didn't do anything. Or I was the person that wanted to go to Kaitra Falls and it's in my backyard and never went. You know, I was the person.
Let me quote from the late Dennis Williams. Now, he was speaking in his book, Pages of Guyanese Prehistory, about the Amerindian legacy of community, respect for, and adaptation to the landscape. This legacy, Dennis reminds us, is the element in our heritage that the Europeans neither discovered nor destroyed. We cannot ignore it without great loss to ourselves.
So I suppose you can say that I turned to poetry to complete my description of nature that I had started in my photographs. My first poem I wrote was entitled The Esquibo River.
When I was a kid, I used to have fantasies of one day I will go around the corner in the bush, some trail or the other, and there it will be, this golden city just glinting through the thing. And I got fascinated with that idea. But the idea of something unattainable.
These were obvious symbols, you know. The little cigarette tin had to have, you know, pork that was burning in it to, you know, scare away the coolie zombies, because they wouldn't like that.
Leaves are dark, day is dark.
As social beings, language gives meaning to our existence.
I said there were studies done about Guyana in every aspect of our development over the last 40 years.
You know, until about the middle of the 19th century, the orientation to colonies like Guyana was about maximizing profits for private investors, right? By about 1854, there's a shift in policy, and it's referred to as the new imperialism or constructive imperialism.
And you would go to the barber shop, and a haircut would take 4 hours because you'd read the newspaper, and there would be a sports maven, and he would tell you why spin is coming back and what the pitch would do on the third day. And then you go to politics and someone would explain the history of Islamic fundamentalism in Egypt and so on. And the society was talking to itself at a very deep level, and it was processing the world in exactly the way that culture is meant to.